Hello all, I'm Josh as a Josh Builds Stuff, but tonight you can call me and my mechanical companions Eileen, because either these mechs have an extra swagger in their step, or they've all developed a severe case of scoliosis. All that to say, these mechs do not stand up very straight. But can these mechs stand up to a little criticism? Only one way to find out. I'm going to criticize them. Today we're talking about 3 new Marvel Mechs, each of which were released in January 2023, each of which cost $15, and about each one I have a lot to say about each one. Normally Marvel is short for marvelous, but when it comes to these mechs it may be short for mediocre. Tonight we add Raccoon, Hulk, and Thanos to the somewhat impressive Marvel Mech lineup that LEGO has been giving us for the past couple of years. Thanos may look familiar because we've gotten a Thanos mech in the past, however those numbers pale in comparison to the number of Spider-Man mechs that we've had already. Spider-Man mechs? Many Spider-Men have been produced. And though familiar, it's as if these mechs follow the multiverse theory and they come from a slightly different universe than our own. In the past, these mechs used more pieces and had more posability, and yet they each cost $5 less than these do. We'll talk about these dudes individually in a second, but I have a problem with these mechs collectively, and that's that I don't know who they're for. I think they're for I am Descartes. No, I think they're for kids, and yet the boxes say 6+, and a lot of the building techniques here actually feel more like a 4+ set. Like I said, they lost a lot of their previous posability. They can no longer bend their elbows or knees, or their head, shoulders, and toes for that matter. And this question of posability brought me to the question of playability. Conveniently, I have something that a lot of other LEGO reviewers don't have. I have access to a great local LEGO focus group. That is my 3- and 5-year-old. They will put these toys through the ringer. Within 10 seconds, limbs were strewn everywhere. We were dangerously approaching a Mrs. Nesbit level situation. I think the added rigidity in these limbs and the fact that they're only attached to the body in one single place makes them much more likely to be detached from that one single place. Also, I don't have the number of digits to count the number of digits that have fallen off of these dudes. The fingers are also just all attached by single clip pieces, and they fall off almost as easily as the limbs fall off. It just feels like something's a little out of sync here. And I'm not talking about the audio for this clip, I'm talking about a bit of desync between the LEGO designers and the consumers. I don't think I'm the target market, even though I do have some disposable income, and so I probably fall into all of LEGO's target markets. Maybe the market is 6+-year-olds, and I won't have a 6-year-old in my focus group until at least next year. Also, forgive me if I'm being a little overly critical. Normally, I would scoff at a price increase. I would use it as an opportunity to act nonplussed and therefore appear more wealthy than I actually am. However, I'm finally starting to feel the effects of inflation personally, because construction material costs have risen significantly, and I'm in the process of a pretty major office renovation. Thinking 1 gallon of paint costs $60. I can get 4 of these mechs for that price, or 6 of the previous generation of these mechs for that price. It certainly is feeling like a bear market. Here's a positive about these sets. The minifigures in these mechs are actually taking things a little easier in 2023, which I applaud them for doing. I think mental and physical health are both equally important. What I mean is they're sitting down inside the mechs now. They were standing before. Also, sorry for not bringing the old mechs so we could directly compare them to these. A better reviewer would have taken the extra trip to storage, whereas I will soon make a McDonald's, Pokemon, and NBA reference. So make like a Spider-Man and stick around. Raccoon is of course a raccoon who's had terrible experiments performed on his tiny raccoon body, so it feels like adding insult to injustice to put him in a large mech suit, further accentuating his departure from his mammalian roots. And speaking of roots, Groot is not here. But hey, talk about a bushy tail. I don't have time right now, but thanks for the suggestion. I do love this Gatling gun, which provides literally seconds of fun, followed by many more minutes of collecting the choking hazards from your carpet. Remix, more like LEGO's remixed the mechs this year. The Incredible Hulk almost lives up to his name. A better name for this set would be a lean, mean, green machine, because he's leaning, he's angry, and he's a green machine. That one probably didn't need an extra level of explanation. Again, this mech is ironically crediting its cruel creator by rocking a round gamma radiation recreation on its chest. This mech does have a girder, which is fun because if he trades that to another player, he'll get a conkeldurr. The funny thing is this mech is wearing purple pants, which is weird. But what's even weirder is the fact that the Hulk doesn't need a mech. He's already super strong. Is the mech gonna make him stronger? I guess unless we're talking about that time that the Hulk needed a mech in Infinity War, but He was processing a lot of stuff at that point. Remember what I said about mental and physical health both being important earlier? See, these movies are deeper than you thought, which is what I have to tell my wife to get her to go see them with me. That, or they can have a shirtless Chris in them. Hey, you try to make me choose between those three, we'd have ourselves a major crisis. I like that one. Oh snap, it's Thanos. Dude's looking pretty good here. He's swole, man. He's got those Dwight Howard shoulders. I like this minifigure's expression because it resembles this character's resemblance in that it's a grimace. On one hand, this character is instantly recognizable. On the other is the Infinity Gauntlet, which is the same version that we've seen before, but we've already collected all 6 Infinity Stones. That was easy. Didn't even have to meet Tilda Swinton. But with this gauntlet, it's less I am inevitable and more I am inevitable, because he kind of resembles a pirate who's lost his hand to an automatopoeian reptile and has replaced it with a gauntlet instead of a hook. But when it comes to this dude's strength, it wouldn't take Stormbreaker to detach any of his limbs. You can go for the head all you want, the arms and legs are still gonna fall off if you just think about them. So ultimately, should you buy these mechs? Sure, why not? They're only $15. If they went up to $20 a piece, then I would have a lot to say about them after I bought them anyway. When it comes to the price of these mechs, forget the mean green machine, let's refer to mean girls, where the limit does not exist. And although these mechs are quite rigid, I will leave you with this one, which is a bit of a stretch. If these sets collectively come up with some dastardly plans or form a small union of territories, we could say they formed some mechanations. We're gonna have to look that one up. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and all that. I'll see you in the next one where we hopefully are not so mean to these poor little machines. See you next time.